Welcome back to TelecomTV's Top 10 Mobile Moments, where we are taking a look at our 20 years of supporting MWC and its 3GSM predecessor. Whilst the 2002 3GSM event was the first one covered by TelecomTV, many of the team had already been to earlier events as part of our previous jobs. I'm pretty sure mine was 1996, probably one of the first years in Cannes, but it's all a little hazy. Probably down to an over-reliance on PR hospitality.
And I think mine was the year 2000. And if you tell me it was in the south of France, that's good enough for me, Guy. Well, we have reached the final three. It's number 3 in our top 10 countdown, and that means the quest for open mobile.
Oh yes, there's always been a battle between closed and open systems. We're seeing it now in the RAN, for instance, but it's been raging in the handset market for decades. To be honest though, you're more likely to find the Holy Grail than succeed with a mass market open OS. The arrival of Apple and Android signalled that the market was in danger of becoming a duopoly. Nokia was alert to the danger, or at least its engineers were, and it teamed up with Intel in 2010 for what it hoped would propel its devices into the future.
There was consolidation in the Linux OS sector yesterday as Nokia and Intel announced that they would merge their open source operating systems. Nokia's MIMO and Intel's Mobilin will become MeeGo as Nokia continues its fight against encroaching market share from Apple and Google. TelecomTV's Leila Mackie spoke to Nokia's Thomas Jonsson.
Android is a competitor. We have many competitors. Android is one of them. I think the unique thing that we have with MeeGo today is that it's going to be a truly open platform that's going to be hosted by the Linux Foundation, so it's really open and the whole developer community can come together and develop it further. So that's really a differentiator for us. We can see today that the mobile is becoming truly a computer, and this is a giant step forward in making the mobile more computer-like and actually becoming, if you want, the computer of the future. And I think that's a development that has started, and MeeGo will give that development a great push forward.
Nokia and Intel said the MeeGo platform will scale up to larger devices such as PCs, in-car systems and tablets.
We will, by using MeeGo, be able to go from mobile over to small netbooks and use it in a range of different devices, also in the home. So that's a great thing, actually, that it spans across devices, which will also increase the connectivity between different type of devices.
And Nokia's first MeeGo device is scheduled for the second half of 2010.
Unfortunately, a year later, Intel pulled out, and then Nokia's ambitions took an unusual turn with the arrival of Stephen Elop. And that was the end of that.
Well, Guy, I'm still trying to figure out how you managed to say, successfully I should add, that MIMO and Mobilin merged into something that also began with an M.
And it all ended in a mess. Well, it wasn't just Nokia and Intel, others also tried. When HP acquired Palm, it had high hopes for the WebOS operating system. And in 2011, we sent along our crack reporter to find out more.
Hi, Leila here at MWC 11, and one of our hot picks this year is the HP, hold on, I forgot what I was going to say.
Don't worry, Leila, you're not the only one who couldn't remember what it was called.
Hi, Leila here at MWC 11. One of our hot picks this year is the HP touchpad. And I'm joined with Manuel because journalists are not really allowed to touch it on their own because it's still in prototype phase. So, Manuel, can you give us a walkthrough of this tablet?
Sure. So let me show you a couple of the features we have integrated. And by the way, this is going to be the first HP touchpad running WebOS. So one of the 3 products we announced last week, including 2 smartphones. And one of the really nice features about WebOS is how we seemingly integrate a lot of information into one window. So I'll give you an example. As example, pictures. So if I look at my photo albums, I can literally already look what people are saying about my pictures I posted on Facebook as example, or I can reply answers so I don't need to close and open windows. I can also go back to my albums, which is stored on the cloud or on the PC, and have it all in one view.
I mean, one of the reasons HP acquired Palm was for WebOS.
Absolutely. So it was first available on the phones. So what we have done is we had made sure that the features which are available on the phones are the same on a touchpad, and then added some functionalities which are more relevant to the form factor and the screen size. So that's one of the beauties of WebOS. It's really easy to integrate into other devices and have a seamless interface across multiple devices.
Well, let's just say WebOS didn't work out either. Back to MeeGo though, and a group of disgruntled Nokia employees thought they could resurrect the project themselves, despite an ever more dominant duopoly.
First off, the fact that there are only two players, that's exactly a great reason to do this, because you want a Ford or a Toyota. Could you imagine if that's the only choices you had in the world? But essentially, most of the mobiles today are using the same exact user experience, and it's dominated by one player. And what we have created with Sailfish is an opportunity for innovation for many different kinds of companies, many different kinds of partners. So this is one of the greatest things we've been able to do, is to make an open operating system that truly is open, not only open source, but also open to different kinds of business models and open to different kinds of partnerships. So Rovio created this great machine, Angry Birds, and now you will be able to buy an Angry Birds Jolla that will have special content and a feed directly from Rovio, so that you can keep track of all of the latest things that are happening with Angry Birds.
If Sailfish didn't float your boat, the Linux whiz kids at Canonical thought they could do better. After all, they were pretty dominant in the desktop sector.
Through our discussions with our industry partners, we believe there is an opportunity to be an alternative platform. We can go to mobile operators, handset manufacturers, and be the most open operating system that will run on a smartphone, a tablet, or we have a desktop, obviously, as well as a smart TV platform as well. The industry has always perceived open to be a good thing, but as Android has started to establish itself as a main OS, its partners have seen that it's actually not quite as open as it was suggested it would be.
This is such a great history lesson. I'm absolutely fascinated to look back at these announcements and plans. But let's remember that Jolla, at least, is still out there, and Sailfish is actually in its 4th generation.
Wow. Well, a very, very best of luck to them. Now, even the browser companies had a go, so enter Mozilla, and Firefox, helped in no small part by a group of mobile operators led by Telefonica.
We launched Firefox OS last year in July. We're very excited with our first partner, Telefonica, launched the ZT device open in Spain. And we've now, since then, over the last 6 to 7 months, we've launched actually into 15 countries, 7 operators in Latin America and Europe. And today we have 4 OEMs launching devices in market, right? So we have ZTE, Alcatel, Huawei, and LG devices.
Hey, thanks for coming and for kicking off your mobile congress with us here on a Sunday night.
So Firefox Open is an open source based platform, an OS that we've developed in the open from day one. So any of our partners like Telefonica or Deutsche Telekom, they've all contributed and been a key partner in actually building the overall platform.
I mean, it was a decent effort, but this shows how hard it is to make a dent in the global market.
Oh, you're right there. But this story will never end. I mean, there's still developers and companies today who are still trying to succeed with an open OS. Okay, we place this moment at number 3 in our top 10 countdown, but what do you think? Any memories to share? If so, get in touch. Email, LinkedIn, or use the form on the website.
But stay tuned, because coming up next is number 2.